Today we're going to talk about Candida and how to reduce some of the Candida in your system. And it'll always be there, so don't think you're going to totally get rid of Candida in your system, because that's not going to happen. Most conventional doctors, when treating their patients for a Candida overgrowth, simply prescribe an antifungal drug. Most believe these drugs should be used as a last resort. Alternative doctors seem to use a comprehensive approach in treating Candida, rather than simply trying to kill Candida with a drug. Let's talk about, let me give you a description on what Candida is. Candida is a fungal infection. Candiditis. You know what? I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Here I go again. Pronunciation's not the best on my list, but candiditis. Okay, let's just say it that way. Anyways, it is a condition of a fungal infection, and its cause is from the Candida yeast. It says on the Wikipedia, candiditis is a fungal infection due to any type of candida, a type of yeast. When it affects the mouth, it is commonly known as thrush. Now, I know that if you've had children, you may have observed thrush in the mouth. It's one of the things that a doctor looks for when he says, stick your tongue out, let me see your throat. He's looking for red signs. He's looking for patches of thrush in the mouth. Signs and symptoms which include white patches on the tongue or in the area of the mouth and throat. And that gives the doctor a very quick clue that we've got an infection going on and what type of infection it is. So, can you spread candiditis? Can that be spread? It says it is a yeast infection caused by yeast that belong to the genus Candida. There are over 20 species. That's what's mentioned here. I believe there's actually over 30 species of Candida yeast that can cause infections in the human being. And the most common one is Candida albicans. So getting back to our story about how to reduce the Candida in your system, the problem with treating an overgrowth of Candida with drugs is that this method fails to address the causing factors that promote Candida overgrowth in the first place, where alternative remedies, alternative doctors use the comprehensive approach, meaning that they treat Candida with a proper diet, a good probiotic, herbal medicine, and natural supplements. And you say, can that be done that way? Yes, it can. I myself have chronic fatigue, I have anemia, and I will tell you that taking supplements and treating with probiotics and good vitamins and a good antioxidant has done worlds for me. I can't believe that I can probably outwork anybody on my feet. And in my working day, I can outwork anybody. And it's because of the fact that I'm very regimented when it comes to taking nutrition. So, some of the things that you want to do with taking a proper diet, let's start with the diet. Avoiding certain foods. Candida thrives on the number one thing is sugar. And so to overcome the overgrowth of Candida, avoid sugar at all forms. Sucrose, dextrose, fructose, fruit juice, honey, maple syrup, molasses, milk products, which has lactose, most fruits and potatoes. In short, stay away from all sweets alcohol, of course, and refined carbohydrates. I know everybody is saying right now, what am I supposed to eat? Well, some of the other things you'll want to be concerned about is meat, dairy, and poultry that have large amounts of antibiotics used in them. Grass-fed would be okay. Seafoods free of mercury taurines is okay, and vegetable proteins are preferable because they are antibiotic free and lower in fat. So there you go. Now that comes like, oh my gosh, what do I eat? What do I eat? Those are the foods that I eat. Avoid foods containing or promoting yeast, such as baked goods. Did you ever walk into the grocery store and you smell the bread baking? Don't you know why? Because they know that if you have that desire for sweets, the yeast smell of the bread just draws you right in. It really does. Avoid foods containing mold, such as cheeses, grapes, mushrooms, and fermented foods. Some advise patients to avoid yogurt because of the high sugar content. And you say, well, I thought yogurt was going to give me that good bacteria. But generally, it has a lot of sweets that you can mix in your yogurt. Okay, so now we're adding the sugar again. And a lot of times there's more dairy to that than there is the good bacteria. Stay away from all refined white flours, alcohol. I mentioned that before. Tea and coffee, foods with artificial sweeteners, coloring, preservatives, and additives. There's so much. I mean, I tell people when you're going into the grocery store, try to stay in the outer perimeter of the grocery store and buy your foods either in the freezer or in the fresh fruit department, fresh foods where you can get your vegetables and things there. I mean, that would be the most important. So, anyways, garlic is a good thing to take. It is a well-known remedy and has been found more potent than many of the antifungal agents. Very good for the heart. Also a super antioxidant, which we have a very super antioxidant. It's called grapeseed complex, and we call it complex because it not only has grapeseed and grape skin, which I will say is the highest grade of grapeseed and grape skin that you can buy, and that is Biovin. And with that, it also has L-glutathione, quercetin, and citrus bioflavonoids. And these are all super antioxidant, which makes this product right here a super antioxidant. And a high-grade probiotic. We talked about that, a probiotic. So important. That not only has 75 billion lactobacillus acidophilus and 75 billion lactobacillus bifidus. These are the two most important good bacteria you want to add back to your system to create an environment that yeast bacteria does not like to survive in. And with that, it has vitamin A, C, and E, which is an antioxidant for the gut that does keep it healthy and keep the flora balanced. And that's our probiotic. And the two of them together are just a powerhouse. I have chronic fatigue and anemia, which have not been a real easy thing to live with. But as we created our company and started with these products, my whole life has turned around. I mean, totally. People ask me, how do you still work as many hours as you do? And I don't find it work anymore. It's enjoyable to me, and I know it's because I feel so much better. I feel better than sometimes I did when I was a teenager. It's amazing. So You want to be able to take a top of the line vitamin, which is very important, and we do have one. It's called Vita Extremes. And of course, you know, I've said before, I don't go a day without my aloe, which is antibacterial, antiviral, anti-inflammatory, antiseptic, antipyretic, and it is the best tasting aloe in the industry. So with all that, I'm just going to leave you now, but keep in mind, diet is so important. It's so easy to go off the track and start eating the sugars and the things that I'm not saying that once in a while you can't do that, but I will tell you that that is one of the problems that you will find with Candida overgrowth. So with that, I'm going to go have my aloe. And again, it's been a long day, and it's been good talking to you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye now.